Welcome to the first in our series on making friends. I am super excited to share some thoughts with you and hope you enjoy our session today. You may have listened to the shorter podcast that talked of loving your life in 5 steps. This is a bit longer, so there are more than 5 sections. Let's get into it. Ironically, if you wish to build friendship with others, you must first love yourself and your own life. While misery loves company, happy vibes attract more friends. A word on the I'm okay mentality. Everyone needs friends, and to live with too few can be hurtful. Choosing to do nothing about these feelings can be construed as choosing to suffer. Misery doesn't attract the friends that most people want, or friends on the basis you want. You may attract other codependent people when you actually want friends. Even praying without other action can be taken as doing nothing. Feeling rejected can lead to anger and then blaming others. Well, that does not get you anywhere. It's more productive to have honest debriefs and see if there are points for improvement. The other action can be to boast of things you're good at. This may attract friends. Whilst you may feel you're bringing people's attention to your strengths, it is more often viewed as needing attention or being nervous. A high percentage of people will take the view, whatever you say, we'll see. We'll see if you're as good, or as clever, or as fast as you say. Boasting really sets you up for a fall. Perhaps it's a question of context, forum of the comment, and the frequency of comments. Sometimes a quiet email to a boss is a more appropriate way to do things than saying you are great at something. If your demonstrable or demonstrated good points are not noticed, then you may consider finding a group of friends or colleagues who do acknowledge your skills. And waiting for friends is not good either. It's not just the passive nature of waiting. First, you notice that stable, happy people don't tend to like unhappy people who need them. Then the nature of waiting is that as time goes on, more and more requirements are added to your list of friendship must-haves. Without seeing it, you may be continuously moving the goalposts. If the great friends don't arrive, you're sad and waiting. If they do arrive, you're sad because they aren't what you hoped for. So what can be done? Everyone can do something to get themselves the quality and quantity of friends that they want. The qualities we want in friends are readily available for us to grow in ourselves and attract more friends. Consider honesty, integrity, determination, courage, commitment, a caring nature, and generosity, to name but a few. That was a lot to say. These don't require money or family input. They do require working at and reviewing the balance for yourself. They also suggest having a life and goals separate to our friends. What do you want for yourself in life? Your self-image will change with your attention to your goals. It's not even that you need to progress, though progress is great. Just the process of forming personal goals, reflecting on your life, monitoring your trajectory, and then assessing your life aims can increase your self-esteem and make you happier. After goals, there are a few broader options. Improve your self-esteem. That sounds daft, because how do you improve your own self-esteem? Well, don't you need everyone for that? It's a strange thing to say. People will say that your self-esteem depends on what others think of you. I would disagree. How do you feel about yourself? How do you feel about not liking yourself? How do you feel being asked these questions? There are those that say we set our self-image when we are about 5 years old. Or rather, by the time you're 5, we have set our self-image about ourselves. People know so much more than we do when we're toddlers, and that is overwhelming. I don't know that I agree. I think when we are young, everything is new and exciting, and people take time to explain so much more. The trouble comes at school with constant comparisons with others, the forming of groups, and feeling lonely if your group is smaller in number, particularly if your group is just the one, you. Then when you are able to comprehend television, The world of advertising achieves its aim to make us feel we are behind. Why else would we buy all their products? In truth, you have to work on it. Not in the way of working at the gym, but personal reflection and review of your personal goals. A word on expectations. First of all, we all get nervous. If not that everyone else is attractive, then it is that they are cooler, or more intelligent, or something else. Most people will suffer at some stage from social anxiety, if not for a few moments, then for a season. Even people who are outwardly confident will be anxious. Don't worry if you're anxious in a room, many are. If you observe the most outgoing people in a room, at some point they will gravitate to a few people for a quiet chat. Most people only have a few close friends. So welcome, you are in good company. This course gives you a few thoughts about how to increase your friendship circle and deepen the friendships that you have. So how are you perceived? If I said we were going somewhere, of course you want to know where we're going, then how are we going to get there? But at some point, you're bound to wonder, well, where are we now? So I ask you, how are you perceived? How do people, friends and family, see you? It should not be a surprise. It's hard, isn't it? Because I know how I aim to be perceived. But how my actions are received is largely news to even me. Whether I have irritating habits, am too talkative, not listening, repetitive, or am, yikes, just a complainer, I'm not going to know until someone tells me. Where is our hope? Family can be a good start, but are often similar in ideology, and so won't necessarily see you as the world does. Friends are great, but A, we are trying to make more friends, that's why we're here, and B, not all friends are comfortable with such honesty. Ideas range from canvassing opinion to observing others around you. How about you don't suggest topics of conversation for a period of time and just see what everyone else is talking about? Or talk as much as everyone else. Does that feel difficult, suggesting you talk more or less than them, or easy, suggesting you speak about the same? Neither is bad, but were you aware of your effect in a conversation? What else can we do? Well, avoid unfair comparisons. So this can surface in two ways. First, our comparisons with celebrities, sports stars, pop stars, and people we don't know. Their life looks glamorous, right? But you don't know their trials and tribulations. For all the gloss and glamour, the #MeToo campaign, where actresses were able to speak about the exploitation in the film industry, shows there is much in these industries that we don't know. Many successful celebrities have an uneven path to success. There's an Oscar-winning actress who has a background in ballet. Not sure why she didn't go into ballet full-time, but she mentioned that before one event, she had to have injections into her knee to stop swelling. If you envy her Oscar, do you envy her injury and rejection from her ballet career? That's all before we go into the well-known effects of Photoshop, encouraging people to reach for unattainable standards. All this comparison does is lead you to resent your life. Second is an unfair comparison with people you do know, most probably family. Why does your husband have a job when you don't? Why does your wife get to stay at home with the kids you both value, but you are working 12 hours a day? And that's before travel to and from work. This just leads to resentment of one aspect of their life, leading to general resentment directed at them. However, resentment does not change your situation. Using your disappointments to fuel new, achievable, reasonable goals is going to change your situation. Perhaps you want to direct your energy to booking that ballet class, widen your social circle, whatever leads you to where you want to go. Another important thing in loving your life is to realize you are unique. It's not just your DNA that is unique in all of history, it's all of you. Your experience, your skills, your opinions, the mix of these is unique. The other side of being unique is that you will feel separate, and others may not like your difference to them. There are other people who will embrace their own uniqueness and yours. Part of liking yourself is to appreciate it when we agree. Those arguments come from different people, different settings. Some stay in our life, some pass through. It's been said that half of happiness is your expectation. Once we expect different, we will be happier. I have to be honest. While it's always important to be polite, I don't see the rationale in sustained giving to someone who does not reciprocate it. You could have put that effort into someone who makes your heart sing. That enjoyment of each other's company is what takes an acquaintance up a notch to a friend up to a good friend, and allow us to identify someone we think is a friend for life. The task is not to be the same, but rather to find people who appreciate your uniqueness and to appreciate theirs. Acknowledge you are human. Don't require yourself to be perfect. For most of us, our parents, our guardians, our teachers were all doing their best given challenges, miscommunications, and the benefits or hindrances of prior experience. Acknowledging things could have been different is a first step to doing them better. Perhaps a different dress, less alcohol, smaller city, or any of the changes we want to make every new year but don't. Having improvement points for yourself isn't just for appraisals, it's important for your growth. Saying we have limits is also a first step to producing achievable plans. Great to have the courage to sign up to the course you have always wanted to do. It's also just as acceptable to need the reassurance of reading up on it, talking to past students, or sitting in on some of the classes before you put your money in that pot. Where will you do the homework? Can you sustain clearing those evenings and weekends before you sign up to the course? Factor in your own humanity, and perhaps you will surprise yourself in what can be achieved. Keep a diary of your good deeds. No, this is not just a list of all the things you should be grateful for today, though we should all be more grateful, I'm sure. This diary is a list of all the things you do for other people. Note everything, all the mundane and the special things you do for family, friends, colleagues, and acquaintances. See how often you make an impact and don't give yourself credit. See how much better you feel about yourself when you do give yourself credit. Such a diary will allow you to form friendships without expectation. You will acknowledge your contribution even if the recipient does not. You are not crushed if people don't reciprocate your good deeds. You will, of course, give more time and energy to those who are happy to have you, always. Lastly, be enthusiastic. Well, yes, first you could talk more enthusiastically. Enthusiasm is infectious and your vibes will be catching. On a deeper level, you could find something in your day that excites you. Something today. If you can't think of anything now, put something in. Whether it is a special lunch, time to enjoy the birds, or singing as you walk to the train station. This will encourage you to enjoy your day more and attract suitably happy people to you. You can also let people know of your new-found outgoing nature by going out more, meeting people, mingling. You can affirm to yourself each day that lots of shy people make friends each day and put more effort into planning your interaction with people. Planning is particularly key because it takes out that nervous anxiety. Thank you for listening. I appreciate it. Let me know how these tips made a difference to you. I hope you see that most of the change starts with you and your motivation, and that is something we can all work on without others. The next talk will concern your value on talking to people and what we need from friendship. Also, keep checking the Patreon site. I'll be starting updating new material, podcasts and extra features. Until we meet again.